Episode 8 of Department Q starts with Carl showing up to see Caroline Kerr. She's a woman who rescinded her testimony regarding the shooting at Leith Park. Carl has done his homework and he lays all the cards out for her. Carl brings up how Anderson and Caroline had relations, and he also knows that the crime racket in the area is apparently run by a man named Eugene Errington. Caroline's child is actually Eugene's, and Charlie is the man working for him in the garage, giving him concerned looks as they talk. All of this ends up being a dream, especially when Carl draws a gun and shoots the guy in the head, solving the case outright. When he awakens, he decides to scribble all of this on a notepad, but he's confused over exactly what its meaning is. Funnily enough, later in the episode, he gatecrashes Rachel's coffee date, having put a tracker on her phone. She asks him some quick questions about how he feels before shooing him out the door. Meanwhile, Merritt's captor brings Merritt back into a hyperbaric chamber, rattling off a monologue about how he cares for her and remembers their time together. He takes her necklace and leaves, just as we see that the old lady from before, who's wearing a wig and still very much alive, unfortunately, back in the control room. Merritt has been here for 4 years in total, if the dates on the camera footage we see is anything to go by. In that time, the pair of assailants have all the footage of her, but Merritt having her necklace ripped off seems to be what's affected her so. The suspicions regarding Merritt being in on the robbery with Harry Jennings in the past also seem to ring true, especially when she confides in Harry, during the flashback sequences that we see, that her family are rich and William is the golden boy of the family. We also get the scenes with Sam Hague recontextualized here with a bit more detail, especially as the scene from the hotel room continues from where we left off. Merritt actually offered for Sam to join her on the boat with William, but he seems to have refused. It's a small olive branch that she held out and he didn't take it. However, it's important to note here because it seems to hint that there's genuine feelings between them. Back in the present, Merritt gets her necklace back, but the puzzling question here is why? This is also something that the Department Q team are having a hard time figuring out, with the pieces of this case fragmented and not slotting together in a cohesive manner. Carl deduces that maybe Sam Hague was both hurting and helping Merritt, as evidenced by him showing up at Godhaven right before he died during the Graham Finch trial. Now, if evidence is to be believed here, Chloe and Merritt were both with Sam Hague at the same time, but perhaps someone was using Hague's name as an alias. At this point, it becomes clear that a captive who has taken Merritt is connected to Harry Jennings, and specifically, it's Harry's mum, Elsa. The person she's with happens to be Harry's brother, Lyle. Now, Lyle has been posing as Sam Hague in disguise, explaining how he's managed to remain detected all of this time. When Merritt comes to the same conclusion, she refuses to apologise for Harry's death. She stands up and points out to the pair that he deserved to die. Carl and Akram show up at Godhaven next, where they learn from Terry Dundee that Sam Hague was a sociopath and had a relationship with his teacher, along with a history of scamming numerous people. When he showed back up at Godhaven 4 years ago, under the guise of writing a book about his experiences, in reality he was more interested in one individual. The kid Sam beat up was a guy called Rocket, which is the nickname of Lyle Jennings. He's the one on the recordings, and the video could blow the whole case wide open, which is where episode 8 of Department Q comes to an end. So we finally get the identity of the kidnappers here, and the reveal was perhaps a little anticlimactic, all things considered. The twist with Lyle Jennings is a good one, but given what we know about the Jennings family, how they're tied to Merritt, and the hyperbaric chamber being used in a warehouse that looks like it houses toxic chemicals, the clues have been lying in plain sight for a while. However, we do get more context around what happened in the past, extra depth given to some scenes, and a nice explanation around how everything slots together too, so there is that at least. There's plenty here that still needs to be ironed out though, specifically in trying to save Merritt before it's too late. The finale promises to close everything out on a high though, and thankfully we don't have to wait too long to find out what happens next. Thanks for watching, and do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like or subscribe to the channel, your support is very much appreciated. I'm Greg Wheeler, and from all of us over here at The Review Geek, we'll see you on the next video.